However, Rani, if you understand potty training correctly and approach it the right way, the success rate increases and you can lead a smoother life. I think it is fine to look at it in terms of weeks. You can use food or you can use a collar or a leash. There is a possibility that they will start hiding to go to the bathroom. Please, God, I pray that you teach this puppy potty training or that they can succeed. Hello, I am Yuto Matsuo, a dog-loving expert dog trainer. On this channel, I share practical training tips you can use at home right now, based on my 15 years of experience as a police and family dog trainer, explained clearly with demonstrations. Thank you for joining me today.
Please help. Yuto-sensei, I'm having trouble with my dog's potty training. I want to know how to train them.
How's it going now?
They just can't do it. They miss the pad, go in strange places, or even poop while walking. Also, they sometimes lift their leg to pee. And while I'm at it, they also chew on the pet sheets, which is another concern.
So they can't do it at all?
They can't do it at all.
Okay. Many people struggle with potty training, right? Actually, at my training school, come to think of it, I had one today, and I had one yesterday too. Potty issues. Yeah, people who are worried because their dog can't use the toilet. There are so many of them in the field, right? I get asked about it all the time. Pottying is something that happens many times a day for dogs, isn't it? If they can't do this, man, it affects hygiene and causes odors too. It gets pretty tough. I think many people struggle with this to the point that it disrupts their daily lives. However, if humans understand potty training correctly and approach it the right way, the success rate increases and you can lead a much smoother life. However, now if your approach is wrong, it can escalate. Like Yasu-san, you might end up with a dog that can't do it at all, or even one that shreds the pee pads. That makes daily life very difficult. In this video, though, I will share the principles and the correct way to do potty training. So please watch until the end and learn how to do it.
Please.
Yes, please. First, let's cover the basics of potty training. Now, there is one thing you need to keep in mind. Just one. Don't overthink potty training. Keep it simple. It's simple. There is one key rule. Never let them fail. This is extremely important. I will say it again. Do not let them fail. After all, using the bathroom is a natural physiological need, right? And even if you pray to God begging, please help this puppy learn to use the toilet and wish with all your heart for success while he's having an accident, it just doesn't work, does it? So creating an environment where they don't fail and building up daily habits is the fundamental principle. It really all comes down to this one point. The most important concept is to ensure they don't fail. So please keep this in mind as a crucial prerequisite.
Specifically, what kind of environment should I create?
Okay, so I'm going to explain the specific steps for potty training, and there are mainly two. This is also extremely important, so I'll say it. First, create an environment where they won't fail. This is crucial. And the other is for us to guide them so they don't fail. It really just comes down to these two things. There are so many ways and methods for potty training, aren't there? Yasu-san, haven't you seen all sorts of methods online?
Yes, I do.
There are, right? Like using a playpen, setting specific time intervals, or figuring out the right timing. There are probably many methods, but they mainly boil down to these two. Creating an environment where they won't fail and guiding them so they don't fail. Regarding the first point, creating an environment where they won't fail, there are truly countless ways to do this. It varies depending on the owner's lifestyle and the dog's personality, but there is one key concept. First, you must teach them in a space that isn't too large. This is extremely important. Yasu, have you ever experienced this? For example, they can use the toilet in a crate, but once you give them more space, they can't.
It feels like they can't do it when they're free.
Sa si Tami kumain sensible about what is the success rate inside the cage. Oh, that is great.
70%.
I see. So, it is about 70% inside the cage. And how is it when you let them roam free?
What is the success rate?
They almost cannot
Almost
do it when
zero. So it's like 0%. Okay. Situations like yours, Yasu-san, are things I hear about a lot in the field. The most common failure is expanding the environment too quickly,
Regarding potty training, there are so many cases where people fail by giving them too much space. So for those of you watching this channel who are about to start potty training, it is extremely important not to expand their environment too quickly. As Yasu-san mentioned earlier, if they are already achieving a success rate of 50 or 70% inside the cage, then they likely already understand what the toilet is for. If they have no idea at all, you might hear things like less than 10% or even 0%, which I hear often in the field. But if they are succeeding more than half the time, like 50, 70 or 80%, then I think that dog probably understands what the toilet is for. However, because the environment is too large, there are many situations where they fail to use the toilet. So I really hope everyone avoids making the space too big.
Eventually, I want them to be free in the living room. So how should I go about that?
That is a great question. I think many people struggle with this, but once they can do it about 50 to 70% of the time in the cage, how should you proceed from there? I think many of you are wondering about that. To give you the conclusion, it is very important to expand the area little by little, expand it little by little, and when you do that, it is crucial not to expand it too much. It happens so often that people let their pets roam free in a room or the whole house just because they started doing well in the cage. So I recommend keeping it to about twice the size of the cage at first. Once they can do it in the cage, I suggest creating a living space twice that size using a playpen or partition. Simply put, if it gets too big, they get confused. Like, where was the toilet again? They might have an accident while trying to get there. Also, puppies might know where the toilet is and try to go back, but have an accident on their way. If you are working on potty training and want to increase the success rate, it is very important not to make their living space too large. When expanding, it is crucial to aim for about double the size. Once they master that space, then double it again. Once they master that, double it once more. Ultimately, I recommend gradually expanding the area little by little until you eventually give them free reign of the whole house.
I have a question. I assume you expand the area little by little, but at what pace or over what period of time can I expand it?
Oh, that is a great question. You are on fire today, aren't you? That is a really good question. This is also a common issue, and it depends on the puppy's personality. But to give you the conclusion, I think you should look at it in terms of weeks. The most important thing is to observe them. Just observe them. For example, when you expand their space, I think you will see some kind of change. The success rate might stay the same or it might drop a little, and there are various possibilities. By observing these changes, I think it is best to wait until they are succeeding about 80 or 90% of the time before gradually expanding the space. Rather than just 1 or 2 days, I think it is best to take your time with potty training over a period of several weeks. If you expand the space too quickly, it's actually quite a hassle to fix it once the failure rate starts to climb. Yasu-san, have you ever experienced that? Like, things were going well, but then you hit a plateau, the success rate dropped, and the failures started increasing again. Anything like that? And chipmode, tawa failing way continues itame for a long time. Exactly. This is also a common concern. You were doing well with potty training, but then the failure rate increased or the success rate dropped. In such cases, it is often because the living environment has changed, affecting the dog's potty success rate. I hope everyone will use this period for potty training as a reference. Yes, Yasu-san, do you understand about the environment?
Yes, I think
is
I
that
get it.
okay?
Understood.
Yes, this is a very important principle. So I hope everyone will keep this in mind. The second step for proper potty training is for you to guide your dog. For those hoping to give their dog free roam of the living room, this guidance is a key point, so I hope you find this helpful. Yasu-san, do you guide your dog at home?
I'm not guiding them.
You don't? When they're free, you're probably letting them wander off, right? Exactly. If you want them to go back to their spot on their own and succeed while they're free roaming, guiding them is a very important step. As for how to do it, it's best to take it one step at a time. Just take it little by little.
Specifically, there are some dogs who know the toilet is in the same room but have trouble walking back to it on their own. For these dogs, it is important for humans to find a way to guide them there. For example, if it is a small dog, you can just pick them up and place them inside. But I think it is fine to close the door and wait until they go. At first, it is very important to take your dog there and wait until they go. For small dogs, once they can do that, it is important for them to return on their own. With small dogs, you can just pick them up to take them there, right? If you can just pick them up when they need to go, humans carry them like a claw machine and release them there. That sort of thing happens, right? Instead of being carried like a claw machine, it is better if they eventually go back to the toilet on their own, right? It is hard to be carried like a claw machine every single time, isn't it? So it becomes important for them to walk back on their own and do their business there. As for specific methods, you can use food or a collar and leash. You could also use a harness or even guide them with a toy. Using these things to get them to walk back to their cage or toilet on their own in some way. It's important to build up the experience of going there on their own to use the toilet. Do you kind of get what I mean? Right, Karaton, it is important to take this step by step. In the early stages of potty training, many small dogs find it hard to walk back on their own. That for those dogs, even if you try to lure them over by calling them, they often won't come. In those cases, as I mentioned before, use items, things like treats, a collar, a leash, or a harness. It is important to use toys effectively to help them walk back on their own. Do you kind of
Yes,
get it?
I understand.
Okay.
By the way, if they make a mistake, is it okay to scold them?
Do you scold them if they fail? Do you scold them, Yasu-san?
Yes.
That is a no-go. If you scold them, there is a chance they will start hiding to go to the bathroom. Yasu-san, has that happened? Like them hiding behind the sofa to go? Or maybe finding it behind a partition without you knowing. Has anything like that happened? Like I said, if you scold them for using the toilet, they might start hiding to do it. Now, they might think that going to the bathroom is bad or that they shouldn't do it in front of people, so they'll start hiding. Scolding them for using the toilet is a no-go. So Yasu-san, you should be careful about that. Basically, you should stop doing it, and everyone else should keep this in mind too. So that covers the correct way to do potty training as well as the basic principles and concepts behind it. Going to the bedroom is a daily physiological necessity. If they can't do this, it can become quite difficult and disrupt your daily life. So please use the principles and the correct methods for potty training from this video as a guide. It is extremely important to start potty training as early as possible, so I recommend you start working on it little by little from the very day they come home. In response to your requests, we have started a LINE account. Online dairu there I share secret training tips that I cannot talk about on YouTube. If you are interested, please add us as a friend via the link in the description box. This channel provides practical training tips you can use at home right now, shared by a police and family dog trainer with 15 years of industry experience. If you don't want to miss out, please subscribe to the channel. If you found this video helpful, I would be very happy if you could press the like button. See you in the next video. Bye bye!